France 24's international affairs editor Armen Georgian has been keeping a close eye on the situation in Guinea-Bissau. He joins me now for more on this. Armen, the president also said this attack was linked to the government fight against drug trafficking. Is there any evidence of that?
Well, we'll have to see what the investigation says, because a number of people have been arrested, the president said, in connection with this coup attempt. So obviously they'll be questioned and we'll know more, I suppose, given time, as to who was actually really behind this coup attempt. But to give a bit of context on drug trafficking, so more than 10 years ago, the UN and the US designated Guinea-Bissau Africa's first narco state. And that's been a slightly controversial label, actually, because some have said that, yes, while of course there are elements in the political system which protect drug trafficking rings, there are also other elements in the political system and in the judiciary that stand up against drug trafficking. But in any case, drug traffickers have had a lot of influence, and the fact that Guinea-Bissau has now gone through at least nine coups has left the country with quite fragile institutions, which are open to being corrupted, open to being in some way infiltrated or bought to some extent by drug traffickers.
Now, the head of the UN responding to this attempted coup said there's been a real spike in these kind of attacks in West Africa. Can we say there's a pattern here?
The actual statement from the UN Secretary General was that there's been a terrible multiplication of coups. So he's referring to the most recent events in Burkina Faso and in Mali. But if we broaden the concept of a coup to military takeovers of one kind or another, or a military, derailing a civilian transition or suspending a civilian transition process, then we can talk about quite a few more countries and events in the last 2 years in Chad, in Sudan, and of course Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Mali, as I've just said, Jeannie. Can we really draw a parallel with what was attempted in Guinea-Bissau last night? I think it's a moot point. You could argue that actually what's happened in Guinea-Bissau is only marginally associated with what's happening in the Sahel. And it does, of course, have its own dynamic because of this history of coups and kind of narco infiltration. Nonetheless, I think the point is that the international community, or certainly the UN, thinks that it is seeing a pattern here between the attempted coup in Guinea-Bissau and more recent events in Burkina and in Mali, particularly. And I think there are jitters in the international community about possible spread of coups, if you will, or attempted coups, even if analytically they're not exactly the same, and certainly are not. But I think that those jitters you could almost sort of hear in some of the reactions, the way these reactions came in very thick and fast, not just from the UN Secretary General, but also from the African Union, from the Economic Community of West African States, and other international bodies.
Armen, thanks for that. France 24's Armen Georgian.